everybody's doing well. And here we go. I can close that remote PC connection, I think, without any problems. So let me just do that. It seems to go away after a bit here as well. So I wasn't sure, Vic, if I should be closing that session or I should leave it wide open or not.
Yeah, you can close it. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see what red news we had today. And
wasn't too much.
Today's Tuesday the 15th. We had any red news here in the United States?
Well, the United States was
no red news.
Well, one was good for the currency, the other was bad for the currency. NASDAQ went up.
But there's no red news per se. It's just
yeah, that's true, really. The red news was Canada. I think.
CPI in Canada.
Yeah.
That was basically it. Everything seems to be coming in line with expectations, except for CPI, which was a little low.
When I took the 1, 2, 3 low at 825 was 0.1, I think. I did it on a 5-minute chart.
All right, so let's see what's going on with our U.S. dollar.
It's still, I think it's still under parity. Yeah. Close to parity, but not there yet. There's actually, the dollar that we're looking at has 7 currencies in it, as you know. But there is another dollar that some people are using that has 27 countries in it. And that is apparently showing stronger results than the 7 currency one. What happened to the charts?
Good morning, George.
Good morning. Wondering what happened to the charts. Lennox was here just a moment ago, starting things up.
Yeah, Lennox has gone quiet there. Yep. He's out of the room.
I made a trade this morning at 0.1 was at it was a 5-minute trade, 5-minute time frame. I started the trade at 8:25. Point number 2 was at 8:30. And I didn't catch it right away, but I got it at the next fair value gap. And I ended up with a total of 86 handles on the trade. So it was a nice little trade starting today. Looks, there it goes. Lennox is back on.
Okay, all of a sudden, Skype went down. We've got to fix that. We've got to switch over, Vic. we need to get on that. Sure. It's causing a lot of issues lately. So, all right. So we're at 22 minutes after. We've got about 8 minutes before the market opens. So you were explaining your trade there, George?
Yeah, while you were silent, I started explaining it to everyone. I'm on a 5-minute chart. I got in. My point number 1 is at 8:25. Point number 2 is at 8:30, and I got in during the next fair value gap with 2 lots, and the second lot was almost 200% up on the 1, 2, 3. I got out with 86 handles on the.
That's a great move there. Yeah, from the 5-minute chart. That's interesting. And on the 1-minute chart, it's very clear. You know, our 1, 2, 3. Whereas on the 5-minute chart, it's not as clear, but still works. Yeah. So on the 5-minute, we've got a very clear 1, 2, 3 right there. It's very sharp, quick retrace.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and then
I missed the trade going down. I was thinking about getting into the trade coming down from around 7 o'clock or something like that, but I was playing around with things and missed the trade. So I said, well, let me wait to see what happens at 8:30.
Yeah, so looking at from the high here, even at around 7:30, there was a beautiful 1, 2, 3 at that point.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one I'm
nice
talking
drop there.
about. Yeah.
So really nice setups here pre-open, pre-market open. Another opportunity right here, real quick, and beautiful drop here. So this is again our classic 1, 2, 3 bottom.
Yep.
We have the sweep, move back up, retrace, the sweep here, of course, and then boom. You don't need much more than that, and you're good, you know.
Yeah, that's why I like the morning trading. Usually it sets up nicely, and this one was nice and smooth too. Volatility is down. The VIX has dropped down to 30, which is still a little high, but you know it's not this racing volatility that we've been experiencing the last week. It's manageable now.
Good morning, Armin.
Good morning.
And
Armin, how are you?
With us here. Mr. Bain is with us as well.
Peter.
Good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
Excellent. Glad you guys can join us. All right, I was just having a little technical difficulties here. Things were spinning their wheels on me. I noticed that Marquis came on yesterday at 10 Eastern. No, 1 o'clock 1 o'clock Eastern, and was calling us, but so he didn't get the memo that we were starting at
you posted
9:30 Eastern. So I sent him a message. Hopefully he'll get it today.
The price looks like it's starting to flatten out at this point.
We got 4 minutes to go, so I'm looking for the same thing I did yesterday, and if it doesn't, yesterday we watched it tank on us without getting in, but we did get in going back up. However, I've got the low marked out from 8 o'clock between 8 o'clock and 9:30 so far, and the high marked out. So I want to see if we break the high today, and we'll look for a 1, 2, 3 here to come back down. So let's see if that occurs. Otherwise, we'll be just, again, looking for our 1, 2, 3, regardless of if it breaks the high or not. But so right now,
Yesterday we break Friday's high,
Let me look at the entire chart here and before the open, just to give you guys an idea what I'm seeing overall. I'm just looking at the NAS here. I haven't even looked at Bitcoin yet, but so on the NAS, remember what I was saying is that we have a 1, 2, 3 here. It's almost identical to the 1 minute chart at this current moment in time. So I've got this drop and we've got this move up. So we are in a fourth wave. So I'm looking for a 1, 2, 3 up here in the fourth wave to come back down and take out these lows. However, we haven't taken out the highs here as yet. So we need to see that being taken out first before we can get our 1, 2, 3. But long term, the play is back to the downside, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because that's a nasty drop there again. So something's going to trigger this drop. And I'm not sure what it is. It's going to happen before May here. All right, 4 hour. So we're looking for a push up first to take out these highs up here, and of course the low hanging fruit here. So looking for something like that, and then a 1, 2, 3 up here to come back down, all the way down to take out our lows.
Yeah, price just got out of its consolidation mode and is moving up. It looks like on the 1, 2, 3 I set up this morning, it looks like it could hit 262 mark.
Okay, I've got less than a minute to go here, so let me get right down to the 1 minute before the time comes. I want to mark off this high here. Okay. A little too high.
What number is your high at? I'm looking at it.
10 seconds here, 30 minutes.
100 area.
We're chopping up right now in a fourth wave again. We've got a 1, 2 here, and we're chopping up and down. So looking for them to take out these highs today. All right.
There we have the bell, and it
market is open. All right. So we did break above the high today. Or did we? No. The highest point actually is right here, just before the bell. So so we did technically break above it by a tad there. All right. So you're looking for a 1, 2, 3 top up here. Let's see if we get one.
Yeah, that was at the last resistance level. It just went above it. There's a release. The next resistance level is almost at 1900, 19,000 even. So that would be, a 000 level for it to go through.
We've taken out. Okay. Let me mark this high here. I wonder if this will work today. Got this low-hanging fruit high right here. Okay, so I'm going to go back down to the 1 minute. Okay, so it looks like so that's what I would be expecting them to go up and take out that high. So that's a 5 minute high.
262.
Will they take this one? So there's another high, which I wouldn't expect them to go and take, but we'll see if they do. Okay, so back to the 1 minute. All right. They're coming very close to it.
Okay, well, on mine, we ended up at a high of 19,006.5.
Marquis, are you awake?
Yes, I am.
Good morning, Marquis.
You were calling us yesterday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Sorry about that. I thought you had gotten that message. You've seen that message in the room.
No worries. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Well, my daughter was down car searching for those 2 days, so I missed you guys. But mission complete. She was able to get her vehicle, and now she's back home.
Excellent.
Okay, we just hit the next level of
I
981.
need somebody to mute themselves here, whoever phones that. Okay, so we've taken out two previous highs here. Interesting that they've gone way up there.
The next one I have is at 19,015. And boy, it's getting very close to it now.
I've got my first fair value gap here. Wow, we're really going up. There's no turning. I really.
It hit it. It hit the next resistance level at 19,015.5. What do I have beyond that level? We have to go back to wait a bit. Okay.
See how the 15 looks. Okay, so they've come way up there. Quite interesting.
Next resistance level I have is 19,079.
And they're coming back down quickly.
Well, we are in the open stage, so, we have the volatility has shot up a bit.
We are in a fourth wave, so that's the key takeaway here. Remember that we are from the 30-minute time frame. We can see it quite clearly.
It's looking like
kind of what it looks like.
Take out a lot of tops.
So my expectation is that we're coming down to take out this low here.
And the question is, we'll take out the next high before, the next two highs before it does that. That would be interesting.
Okay, I'm going to sell this because we are sitting right on the precipice here. So I'm going to sell that at this point. And the reason why is I've got a 1, 2, 3 right here. We've got a beautiful fractal as well. And I'm going to take advantage of this to come down now. We're right into this gap that was formed as well. So see if this gap will hold as resistance and bring us down. Okay, and I can take off again a quick profit if I can get there quickly. There I go. I can do it. So take a nice quick profit on that move, and let's see if we can continue going down. Of course, at this time of the morning here, you have to be quick because things they're not being very slow. They're moving fast. So I'll put my stop right above that 1, 2, 3 there, and see if we continue down. They might come back up and be mean and take me out, but my stop should be okay above the high there. I would think I should be okay, but they could come through like they're doing and take me out. No, do not do that. That's very close. I think they might have got me by a tick, maybe. It looks like I'm still alive, but okay, maybe I'm still alive. Thought they might have gotten me. I wouldn't have thought they would come back up into that gap again because they've already gone into it a couple of times. So, but they did. All right, let's see if we can continue falling.
Well, they're not through going up yet, it looks like.
And my stop is just a tad above that, the wick of this candle. Well, actually, yeah, just a tad above it. So will I be okay there, or are they going to come get me? See, they've gone back in 3 times now. Wow, that's interesting. I'm not expecting to go back up there again. So something's up why they're doing that. You know, giving everybody a chance to get in. That's what they're doing. You know, this gap is just holding, just barely. So I might die here. Yeah, they got me by a, let's see how much they get me by. Now, when I was just wondering if my stop would have been better above the high of this candle, but nope, that would not have been okay either. Interesting. So that was my second option for my stop. I wouldn't want to put it way up at the high because if they're certainly going to go through, then you know that's it. That's a lot more risk. So I've suffered my first loss here, guys. I don't think I had any losses last night. I was trading last night again before London Open, and I've had quite a streak without any losses here. Well, I did have a loss, yeah, one small loss, but after that, I was just stringing them together like crazy. I think I had about 20 plus trades without a loss. Okay. Yeah, was not expecting this move. Interesting. So they've come back up. We had a nice 1, 2, 3 going. Looked pretty good that we could continue, but they're saying no. We want to go up higher. So why are they going higher? And why would they be going higher into this? Let's go to the 30-minute. Okay, so here we are again on the 30. We have a 1, 2, 3 here. So they're coming back into our number 2 area here quite a bit. So I do have a gap there. This gap, which has been partially mitigated, they're coming back into it. So where's that gap from? Let's see, is that from the hourly?
Okay, they've exceeded all those highs. Oh boy, let me see where they've gone back. They've gotten so much higher now.
So, okay, so this gap really is like this, should be like that. So that they could come up there and touch that. We don't have anything else for them to come back up to here except for this order block, which is where basically they're taking that out as well.
18,790 it looks like.
On the higher time frames, 4 hour specifically, there's we're in a 4th wave, so I'm assuming it wants to take out those highs.
Well, on the 15-minute here, we're in a 4th wave. So we've got a 1, 2 here, marquee, and then we've dropped, and we are inside a 4th wave here.
Yeah, well, that's always been kind of an area of interest for me to see if we're in multiple 4th waves or multiple time frames. Which one is going to outweigh the other? I always assume it's going to be the higher time frame, but no, I also assume
it can't be the higher time frame first because everything starts. You have to start a race at the start line, right?
Before you can get
to the finish line. So you have to start off on the seconds chart first, all the way, and then up, right? So this will take precedence over the higher time frame in that this will have to play out first. The lower time frames make the higher time frames, right?
So I always looked at it as the higher time frames be more like maybe like a puddle, as opposed to, well, the higher time frames being more like a beach and the lower time frames being more like just simple bodies of water. Whereas wouldn't the massive amount of volume in the larger body outweigh the smaller amount?
In that context, yes. However, okay, so on the 4 hour, like you're saying, you're kind of seeing this as a fourth wave here. Is that what you're referring to, or are you looking at the whole thing?
I'm seeing two. I'm seeing one that whole thing, and then one that smaller part.
So okay, so the smaller one's what we were looking at on the 15-30 minute there. This is the 30-minute, 15-minute, right? So on the larger time frame, 4 hour here, we've got this move. This is what I think you're referring to as our fourth wave. So yeah, we're looking for a move to the upside here on the larger, higher time frame. This is what we would expect. However, on the smaller time frame, we're expecting a move down first to take out that low, and then we get that, looking then to get that move out. Does that make sense?
It does, but I think that the momentum was exhausted once they filled that gap. Because we know that they wanted to come down and fill the gap, but that was really the only reason why they had to come back down. And then once they filled that gap, once they filled that weekend, well, that was the Sunday open gap. But once they filled that Sunday open gap, I assumed, well, that's the reason why they came back in the first place.
Well,
but that was really the only reason why they came back.
We know it's possible for them. Okay, for instance, here we had 1, 2, and we would expect 3, 4, 5 in here, and they kind of did it really quick, and then we get a 1, 2, and again this move up. So at this point, yes, we're chopping up and down. The expectation, because we have a 1, 2, 3 right here, the expectation is that we should come down and take out this low. So if that doesn't occur, then you'd be correct. Yes, we're going to continue up, but we would expect a fifth wave here first. So you have to, because of our structure, you have to expect that this leg is to be taken, this low has to be taken out. So the only way we're wrong is if, for whatever reason, they decide they don't want to take that. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So right now, as everything looks, this move to the upside is a fake. So they're faking everybody to go long, and they're going to drop it down, take these lows out. So that's what I would expect, and the only reason why is because I have a 1, 2, 3 right there. So if the structure would be, I would be expecting that move there, but they decided to go sideways on us, right? So now we know that yes, we're in a fourth wave, and we still would expect them to take out this low, and this low before we start going back up again. Okay, so if I'm wrong, then we do not get a fifth wave, and we would get a retrace of some kind, and then a continuation without breaking this low. All right, so let's see how the S&P looks. Of course, again, I could be wrong, but that's again the expectation. It's all it is an expectation. So I'm looking for that move.
Yeah, that's the one thing. One area I do have a problem with. I get a recommendation is liquidity. Do you have any recommendations, like for reading material or what have you, for just understanding and being able to spot liquidity more effectively?
There are many resources. I don't really have the best one would be ICT himself, because he's the one that has brought this to the attention of most of the traders out there, right? So Michael Huddleston, you can watch his videos or read any information on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so I'm on the E-mini futures here, George. I'm just trying to check it out to see how different it is. I'm going to bring this up. Can I do two at a time? Yes, I can. Great. Okay, I'm going to bring these two up to where I have my other stuff here.
What time frame are you on right there?
I'm on the 1 minute. 1 minute time frame. So I've got the E-mini S&P. So there's the NASDAQ. There's the E-mini S&P futures. Sure what these pink, I'm not sure what these blue boxes are that I have on here. Oh, it looks like I have sessions on for some reason. Oh. Don't have any session indicator on, so bear with me a second here. Go a little higher.
Yeah, that chart is messy looking.
That's the S&P. Here's the NASDAQ futures. I'm not sure what these blue things are on here. They look like they're part of the background, but I'm not seeing what they are. Nothing that indicates.
You know what? I think no. It almost seems like it's the reverse of the. I expected, the extended hours thing, but that doesn't make sense because we're into real time right now. The real time starts at 9:30.
Let me just go back to NAS. I have to play with that.
Futures.
I'll play with that for now. We'll leave that alone. Okay, so we've come right up into my gap. Okay, so if I go back up to the 15, I believe it was. Yeah, so this gap over here, just the last bit of it, they've come right up into it. Interestingly, right to the midpoint of it. So I would not expect them to go through, and we should be turning around at this point and coming back down. So let's see if I'm going to be correct. It's we're at the 10-minute to macro now, 10 to 10 macro before we get to the algo. So the first takeaway is using ICT's method model. He said mark out between 8 o'clock and 9:30, mark out the high and the low, highest point, the lowest point. If price breaks above the highest point, look for your model to come back down to take out the lows. So we did break above. It looked pretty good that we got a 1, 2, 3 there. We could come down, but we've gone much higher. So that's not really working. Again, 2 days in a row, we've looked for that. So at this point, we've gone.
Wait a minute, that did work. That's where I got my 89 handles from.
No. Yeah, I'm saying you have to wait until 9:30 for the 9:30 open for that to happen. So you were way before.
Oh, yeah.
The open.
Well, yeah. I got in before 9:30.
Yeah, so you're way before the open. So it's not the same. So this is a totally different one. You wait until the 9:30 open and then.
Oh.
You're looking for that. Yeah. Okay, so did not occur. So that's 2 days in a row. We've tried to catch that, but it didn't work. All right, so we get this push back up to the upside. So if they break through this gap, then all bets are off here, Marquis, and we could be looking at a totally different ball game here. Because
I think we are in a different ball game.
If we can't stay, if this gap can't hold us back, then my call for us to come back down to take out this low might be next. Because we shouldn't be going that deep into this area here. So again,
Constantly making new highs at this point.
I'm thinking this is a fake out move still to the upside, and we should be coming down. But I could be wrong, but we certainly are inside a massive fourth wave here, and I'm looking for them. And it's I can see the A, the B, the C, the D, the E. So this should be our E leg at this point. We should be heading back to the downside. So I'm still looking for a turnaround move right in here on the 1 minute. And it looks like we might be getting it here. So let me get my seconds chart happening here to help me out. All right. So I'm looking for a 1, 2, 3 top here. We're not violating the gap as yet.
No, we haven't found the 1, 2, 3 top yet.
No, not yet. On the seconds chart, we do have one right. So I'm going to take advantage of that. On the seconds chart, I'll take advantage of that sell right there. So I'm saying that we shouldn't take out this high any going forward now. Okay, otherwise we can wait for a breach of this low, 1, 2, 3 here, or a breach of this low with a 1, 2, 3 here. Let's see if I'm correct or not. So my stop would be above the high. They take me out by a tick, then I'm done. Otherwise, we're coming straight down. So we're coming into algo time at 10 o'clock. We're currently macro. So I'm looking for a turnaround move. I'm looking for them to drop this down here. See if we get it. I was able to sneak out a little profit the first time on thinking that we were done at this point. And we had a nice 1, 2, 3 there, but we didn't get very far. So let's see if we can come down and take out this low and this low. Gap is still holding very strongly.
It's holding very strongly. It doesn't.
Quite interesting here. So let's see if we can continue falling. It could be mean and take me out one more time with a wick here, but yeah, because they're not dropping right away, which is interesting here. And looks like they might want to take me out again. This is very, very close. So they did go above the gap again. They actually closed above it. So very dicey here.
Yeah, it's very, very dicey, that's for sure.
Still alive. Break that low. Okay, they've got enough. Let's go. Let's drop it now. Good sign. We've just taken that low. We need to keep going though. Oops, I don't know what that was. All of a sudden my computer went black. Oh. Okay, it's a good sign that we're falling here. So let's see if we can continue going. I noticed Bitcoin is also taking a little ride down south. Quite the ride down here on Bitcoin. So NASDAQ should be following suit. I would think that you guys watching Tesla, interesting. So we opened, dropped, went straight up. We're looking for them to come back down as well.
I caught that run up.
Nice. Okay, so I'm making a little bit of profit here. Was making a little, I'm too slow here. So I had a nice little profit to that level, and just missed my opportunity to get out with a nice little profit again. And that might be to my own chagrin here, missing that opportunity to take a little something off right there. Let's see if I get another chance. I would think I would get another chance. We should come back down and take this low again. But you got to take these opportunities when the market is like tentative like this, and you get that chance. You got to take those opportunities, take your profit off. Get another chance at it here. Beautiful. So I'll take that. Just take a little something off, just in case they decide to go back up for whatever reason. Reduce my risk. So we've got a breach of these lows here, and we've got a 1, 2, 3 right now. Looking for them to drop it, take out this low. Looking for them to take this low next. This low here will be the next. And we are at the algo time, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we are at algo time, but this is not a good-looking algo.
Not yet. Remember, we have a whole hour for the algo to form and take do its thing. So it's not just going to start immediately at 10 o'clock. So. All right, so this was our first gap that occurred after the open right here. We're looking for them to continue going down here. I can't move my stop much here. Now I'm pretty sure I sold that. Oh, finally, it's taken. Boy, these orders are taking a long time to process. Okay, so I'd like to bring my stop down a little bit, but I can't bring it too much because they could come back up there and get me. So if they're going to come back up, so I'll just bring it down a tad just to reduce it. I can't move it into positive. I don't want to move it to break even because it's too tight. So still looking for them to drop it. All right, so for those who are watching us for the first time on YouTube, we are the Simple 1, 2, 3 traders. The simple means that we have a simple concept, simple model, simple system, simple method, but trading it is not simple. So we just want to put that out there. We're also doing all this for educational purposes only. We don't suggest or recommend that anyone take our trades. It's all up to yourself to pull the trigger. Okay, so what we're looking for is a 1, 2, 3 top or 1, 2, 3 bottom, and essentially that is, for instance, this kind of move here with a retrace. We call this our 1, we call this our 2, this would be our 3 in here, and then we're looking for a drop. And we want to go to a target of 1.618 Fibonacci ratio. When you put the Fib extension tool on, we're looking at a movement from the number 3 point down to 1.618. That's the ideal target. It's an area. There's also 1.614, 1.272 as targets. So that's basically what we're looking for. We've also incorporated some ICT methods, which are just the fair value gaps and order blocks, but they're not a prerequisite. Essentially, all we need is that this 1, 2, 3, the move up here would be 50 to 62% retrace of the 1 and 2 points back up. So we were just looking for a 50 to 62% retrace, and that's essentially all you need. The only rule for the 1, 2, 3 is that number 3 point cannot break number 1 point. It can tie it. It can be 100% retrace, but cannot break that. If it breaks it by 1 tick, then it nullifies the 1, 2, 3. The 1, 2, 3 basically is qualified when we break the number 2 point coming down. That gives us a true 1, 2, 3. Until such time, it's not a 1, 2, 3 really, technically, but the formation is there. You can jump in at this point, but there's no guarantee that we'll break that low. So why did I get in early up here? The reason for me getting in early up here is because it's a fractal, and a fractal is a swing high or a swing low. So we got a swing low.
They're looking to pick up more lots at this point. We need a close below 19067. We're still looking for lots at this point. Your graph has disappeared, Lennox.
Good morning, George, and good morning, Lennox. Are you seeing the screen?
No, I just sent a message to Lennox that the screen has disappeared.
Okay. All right.
He was having problems this morning. I think the same problems cropped up again.
Okay. Yeah.
At this point, I would say that the macro has not begun. The big boys are still looking to pick up lots before they make any move down. Lennox might have gotten stopped out at this point.
Okay, you're looking at the NAS.
Pardon?
You're looking at the NAS. Oh, I was just asking if you're looking at the NASDAQ.
Yeah. That's correct. I'm sorry, I didn't. You said the NAS. My
Yes.
hearing aids have been giving me problems, Omar. Sorry about that.
Yes, no problem.
Yes, I am looking at the NAS. Lennox did get into the NAS. And it looked like we had seen the top, but we got preciously close to the top again. It now seems I'm on a 1 minute chart. It seems to be coming down, but I'm looking forward to actually get below, what the heck was the number I said? 19067. Be a little more confident that the movement is changed to downward. And I'm still seeing that they have not decided to take this downward fully yet.
Okay.
Not sure where Lennox is at this point.
I haven't been looking at the NAS. I've been looking at Bitcoin and gold, euro.
Well, when he was last on, we were looking at NAS. If I go over, take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bitcoin looks like it's in a wave 4 motion at this point on the, that's a 4-hour chart.
On the for Bitcoin though, on the 1 minute, I think there was a 1, 2, 3 at the bottom. I got in there, and I'm still in the trade.
Okay. At this point, I know Lennox has been taken out. We're getting a brand new high coming in on NASDAQ. I'm going up to a higher time frame on the NASDAQ because we are still climbing. And let me see, where was the next area?
You guys hear me?
There you are. You're back again.
Oh, not sure what's going on my computer here, but Skype is not giving me any love this morning. So
I'm pretty sure you got taken out on that trade.
yes, I was taken out on that trade, and yeah, they are. Can you see my screen, everyone?
Yeah, now I see your
Yes, I
screen.
can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning.
I don't know where I was when I got cut off. I was trying to explain the 1, 2, 3 to the
Well,
YouTubers.
Yeah, I was going over when your screen disappeared, and what I was seeing that they were going back up because they haven't gotten enough lots yet, and I had got taken out also when it reached a new high.
Where was I when everything stopped? I was trying to explain the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 method to everyone.
Well,
How far did I get into that before?
You had gotten in on a fractal. I had gotten in slightly lower on the fractal, but what happened is that on the 1 minute chart, I was saying it tried to get, if it couldn't get below 19,067, we were going up again. And
Marky or Peter, where was I when I got cut off? Do you guys remember? I was trying to explain the 1, 2, 3, and I realized I was talking to myself.
So I don't think you actually got to the explanation of the 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. So that was so I was cut off way before then. Okay, because I realized I was talking to myself after a while there, and I couldn't get any response from anyone. So, all right. So
the next level up is 19,197.
Okay, I'm not on the future, so you're giving me numbers that I don't have, George. So don't even go with the numbers at all at this point, because you're using the futures and I'm not using the futures. So I have a gap up here that we just touched into. That would be an inverted gap, and it looks like that might be as high as they're going to go now. So I'm looking for a 1, 2, 3. So I've missed an opportunity to get in early here. What I'm going to try for a retrace of this current move, because again, I'm still looking for them to come down. So we've got a sweep, and we've got another sweep. So I'm looking for a retrace here to come down. So an entry opportunity right here, and I've got a gap, couple gaps here. So an inverted gap as well. So everything's looking pretty good. For an entry, there's an inverted gap here and a regular gap that takes up the inverted gap, and another regular gap here. So once this candle closes, we'll have our gap, and then the next candle, I'd look for them to push back into the gap. Let's see if we do that. Got a few seconds left on this candle. We've pushed up quite a bit now. Okay, so our next candle now, I would take that as my entry if we can push back into the gap. So they've just touched it essentially. Hopefully they'll come back and go into it, but they might just leave as well. Okay, so they are giving me a chance to get in, so I'll take that opportunity there. All right, so I'm right in the middle of the gap and very close to the middle of the inverted gap. I'll take that trade. So again, not liking the entry here in comparison to the fractal entry, but pretty close in this case. So let's see if we can fall from here this time. So the sweep, another sweep, 1, 2, 3.
Or can you mute yourself? There you go.
That was Omar there. I think there was a spaceship going by.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We do have a fractal on the 3 minute chart, but we still are not confident that we're ready to go down.
We're 17 minutes into this 10 o'clock algo, and nothing.
The algo is
Yes.
shot.
Here we go. Now we're getting a nice move. So
There we go.
partial on that right there. Oh, look how fast they. Good thing I got a partial on that because, yeah, they're coming back pretty quickly. So it was a little slow there, but I still got a nice profit. And now here we go. We're going back down again. Okay, so that's what I was looking for over here in the first place. But they decided to go up one more time and sweep the highs. So now we're getting an even better move now, and so another retrace back up, and we could really start coming down. So let's see if that occurs. So Bitcoin is really dropping, and I was trying to multitask. They're trying to get my computer up, so I couldn't trade, but I really like the setup on Bitcoin, looking for them to retrace back up into the 50% area. See how they did that beautifully there. So Bitcoin was set up really nicely, and that's our 1, 2, 3. So I was trying to explain the 1, 2, 3 to those on YouTube, and was not able to because I got my computer crashed. So I'm going to just put myself into positive here so that I do not lose a dime on this trade. And so that's what I was looking for from the get-go here this morning. I was looking for that since we broke. I was trying to use ICT's method and or model and look for that setup here. They didn't do that. They went up higher. So at this point, I thought perhaps we were done. We had a little bit of a sweep there, a sweep here, move back in, looking for them to come down. And they did come down a little bit here, but not quite as much as I expected. They take out the high again. Now we've taken out the low. So we're not even getting a retrace. So this is just, there was no news at this time of the day, I wouldn't think. So
No, there's no news.
quite interesting that we're dropping so quickly. So I'm going to come down a ways here and lock in a bit more profit. I could just take a profit off at this
I don't
point.
know if they're going to go down to the bottom at this point.
That's where I expect them to go. Remember, I was saying that I'm looking for them to take out the lows. So again, if I go back to the 30-minute, this is what the expectation is. So they're fooling everybody to go long, and so they're chopping it up, chop it up, chop it up, chop it up, and then we expect them to come down and take out this low first, and then this low over here, and then this low. So I know it looks hard that oh yeah, this is not, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. It's not going to happen, but that's what they're doing, and I could be wrong, certainly, yes, but again, I'll go over our structure. It's our structure that tells us that that's what we should expect. So that's why we get this nice move. So quite the move here, and I could take the profit off at this point. And the reason why is because I'm expecting now for them to retrace here, because we come back down, taking out this low here, so we could expect a bounce in here. So I've got some nice profit, might as well take it and look for a retrace of the current move. So don't have to sit in there and let your profits, watch your profits, go back down. So if I put a fib from the low here to here, to that high, not the high, but just the number 3 point, I'd be looking for a retrace in between 50% and 38%. So somewhere in this area, I'd like them to come back into this area, and then I would jump back in again to continue going down. So that would be the same kind of thing on Bitcoin. So this was a really, again, a beautiful setup on Bitcoin there. So beautiful one. There's our 1, 2, 3, and there's our 1, 2, 3. So we would expect that move to take out this low. So now we'd expect a retrace and then another drop to take out this low. And that's their game, and that's all they have, right? So if we can catch it, that's it. Let's see it on the 5. You can see they did the same thing like the NAS. They just chopped this all up, fake everybody, took everybody out, fake everybody to go long. I mean, it's not a fake. Like when I say a fake, the inducement is for you to go long. Yes. So if you don't take your profits up at a previous high or something over here, then yeah, you're doomed because they're going to come down and take you out. But so it's not. I wouldn't say it's a fake per se, but you know that's the inducement for traders to go long, so that they can take your liquidity. So that's what it's all about, Marquis. They're inducing the longs here in order to take the liquidity that's sitting here. All the stops that are sitting here, all the guys who are breakout traders jump in at this point when they see this being broken, and especially if they push it up high, everybody's piling in now thinking that this is going up, but it's the opposite. They're actually doing that to grab all their orders, and then down we go, because the whole key to the game is for them to buy high and sell low, or buy low and sell high. That's the game, right? So if you think about it in those terms, that's what's going on. So do I get a retrace here? It looks like I've got a. Okay, so I just missed my moving away from the chart and chatting away. So that was my opportunity right there to get in, and I might have missed it here. So that's just the way it is. Like I say, sometimes it's almost impossible to catch every move, but if you're vigilant and you're watching, you can take advantage of these opportunities, because that's all we wanted to do, is to catch this retrace back into this sweet spot area, and then you're in to come down. So might still get a chance to go in here. So again, I'm looking at the fractal right here. If we can come back to the blue, to the high candle right here, to the open of that high candle, that would give me an opportunity to get in. Otherwise, I'll have to wait for a retrace, a proper 1, 2, 3 retrace. That's what it is at that point, right? All right, my seconds chart's not working. Nothing's working for me here this morning, so
yeah, what's going on?
Sure, what's going on? I'm gonna have to give my computer a reboot after the session is over today.
Maybe closing out a couple of tabs at the top. There's a lot open up there.
No, well, yeah, I've got a lot of tabs, but they're all frozen. So unless you click on them, they don't take up any resources. And that's not the only window I have open. I have another window over here, and it's got 100 tabs on it as well. However, the tabs are not in use. I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs in use.
I still believe they take up. They add to the cache, and I think the static memory, if I'm not mistaken, because just holding that place open. But
I've got a lot of RAM on this machine, so I don't think, I've never had any problems with that. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm kind of thinking it's Skype.
It may move at light speed.
Everything is working properly. Skype is hogging the most resources of anything on my computer at this moment in time. So I'm kind of thinking that it's got something to do with Skype more than anything else. Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge are taking up very, very small, less than 3% resources. So it's not that. Skype is taking up over 20, almost 25% resources, CPU. So
and you're in a Mac, correct?
No, I'm on a Windows 10.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's not anything to do with those guys. I do have MetaTrader open as well, and it's taking up the second most resources. All right, so that was a missed opportunity here to get in and catch the move. So I didn't have to exit my trade. At this point, you could have stayed in. It could have brought my stop down further and so forth. But where do I put my stop that I don't get taken out? It's tough to bring your stop down, because you you can easily get taken out. So that's why I wanted to sell, take the nice profit, and then look for the retrace, and then jump in again. So I can still looking for a retrace here, even at this level. We can still retrace, come back to this level, cut through, retrace again, and drop. How far up will they retrace would be the question at that point, right? So let's see if we can pinpoint that. So I've got a gap here. So before I got taken out there, before I got cut off, I was going to explain our 1, 2, 3 to those on YouTube and those who are not familiar with us. So I think I did mention that we are doing this just for educational purposes. I hope I had said that. I hope everybody heard that. This is just for fun. We just do this. We don't expect anyone to take our trades and follow us. You know, you do that at your own peril. So what we're looking for, and I'm going to go to Bitcoin because Bitcoin setup was so beautiful. And okay, I'm getting a retrace now, so I could take an opportunity to get in. So I've got a gap that was going up, and so now it's turned into an inverted gap. So I could jump in on that at that point to come back down. So it's coming right into the middle of the gap, the inverted gap. There's also a regular gap right there at the top. So let's see how much we can push up into there. So it looks like we're going to go up a little higher maybe. And one more push up. Give us a nice, yeah. There we go. So I will take just a, okay, so we're right at the midpoint, so that's reasonable for a sell at that point. Okay, so now the only thing I don't like about taking this trade at this point, at the midpoint here, is that placement of my stop now becomes a little high. The risk is a little high on the high side for my liking, but I'm still looking for them to come down, take out these lows in any case. So looks pretty good overall. So my stop would be, you see, I have to put my stop way up here in order to stay reasonable. So I'll put it not too ups. You guys still there?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with my computer.
I'm
Everything
looking
just went.
for it to hit the 162%.
Everything just went black. Okay.
I don't like the way it's hanging around now.
Okay, where's it? So we're looking for them to drop it here again. Okay, so let me stay on the NAS here. So what we're looking for as 1, 2, 3 traders is a 1, 2, 3. So a 1, 2, 3 is basically a high, a low, and a high. And the high and the low can be are usually swing highs and swing lows, and it's just a 3 candle formation that creates the swing low or the swing high. And then the number 3 point is a 50 to 62% retrace back into between the 1 and the 2. So the movement down, then we get a retrace back up into 50 to 62%. That is the ideal. That's all we're looking for as 1, 2, 3 traders, and then we can catch this move to the downside. Where do we take profits? Usually at around a 1.618 as a target. Fib target is our usual target area, but it's an area, and so there's a 1.414 as well. And there's also a 1.272. There's also 1.0, of course, and so on. So this is my preferred target. I like the 1.618. Then when we get this drop, okay. So the 1, 2, 3 gives us that. So that's all. That's our model. the rules for this model is that your number 3 point cannot break number 1 point. That's the only rule. You can tie that point, you can tie it, but you can't break it. If it breaks it by 1 tick, then it nullifies the 1, 2, 3. What makes a 1, 2, 3 a 1, 2, 3 is when we break the number 2 point. So once the number 2 point is broken, then your 1, 2, 3 is valid. Up until that time, it can, it can go back up. So if it does not break the number 2 point, then it's not valid. And even when we break the number 2 point, it can still go back up. So there's no guarantee that it's going to be a 1, 2, 3. So where your 1, 2, 3 comes in at, where this number 1 point comes in at, is very important. We need to be at a previous swing high or a fair value gap of some kind in order to be able to catch that entry. Okay, so a support or resistance area is the key.
I'm not liking this. No.
Yeah, it looks like they're taking me out, unfortunately, and yeah, wasn't expecting them to come back to take this high, and it looks like they want to. So, okay, so that's the peril of trying to get in at this point now, because we are basically in the fourth wave again, so they can chop it up and down in here.
On the 5 minute, it looks like it's just about retraced to the 50 for a wave 2.
Yeah, so we're getting quite the retrace here. Yeah, a little more than I would have expected them to retrace. So them taking this, they might not even take this high. So I could, if my stop might have been above the high, maybe I'd be okay. But let's see if they do take it. They've come up so far that I wouldn't think that they would not take that. They should take that now at this point. So we're in the sweet spot area. So if I were to move, so I was looking for them to come between 38 and 50% retrace here, but they've gone above that level. So it's just saying that essentially the move back down might take a little longer, not as fast as they did coming down here. So all right, so they've broken that high just by a tick. Now they've broken it. All right, so we're into the gaps up here. So again, I'll still looking to sell it. So I'll be looking for an entry to go back down. So if we look at the entire move of this, and whoops, still with me, guys? Hello?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this thing is going dark on me all the time, so
good.
I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, so yeah, the entire move is 50%. We're right at 50%. So ideally, we want to see that go above 50%, and then we would look for a 1, 2, 3 here to come back down. So still possibility for us to get in again. And you can use your gaps to help you out. So this gap here, we're going above it. Looks like we're holding in this gap right now at this point. So this gap is kind of holding, but we've mitigated most of it. So if I get a fractal here, I'm in. So next, I have to wait for the next candle to give me the fractal. Okay, so and so far it's just 2 candles. The fractal needs 3 candles. So there's my third candle. All right, so at this point, I could sell it. Let's see if I get a bit more of a retrace here. Okay, they're not giving me much of a retrace. Okay, so I'll take that as my sell again at this point. And there's a little gap, but it's gone. Okay, so no gap. So again, I'm saying that they're not going to take this high out by jumping in at this point. So if I'm wrong, they'll take this high out. My structure says we should not take that high out, really. So let's see if it does. Very close, though. They could take it out one more time, of course, because they're mean. Holding. So on the right hand side here is my 3-4 hour candle. So I'm looking at the candle to kind of see Oh. Okay.
Did you get in, Lennox?
I'm in, yes.
Let's see if they start dropping it now.
Okay, so looking for continued drop. So put my stop rate midpoint of that gap. So where would we be heading to now? So at this point, I can go for the lows here as a low hanging fruit, or even to the bottom. But just for low hanging fruit, go for the lows here, which is reasonable. Can we get down there? We are in a fourth wave, so we have a 1-2 here. We've dropped. We're chopping, so they could do something like that and then drop it. We just don't know what they're going to do. So I'm just looking to come back down to the lows and exit, because we could get another bounce back up again. So if we can get back down to the lows, that's sufficient. And yes, we could continue going straight down. That's also possible, but that's okay. So again, these are my last 3 4-hour candles, and it's showing us that the current candle opened, had a little small tail, and then we went way up, took out the previous 2 4-hour candles high, and now it's getting rejection and coming back down. So if there is being rejected, then they're likely going to take out the low of the previous 4-hour candle. I'd say likely. I don't say that it has to. It's just that will be a possibility that they're heading down to take out that low. So that would be in line with what I was showing on the 15-minute there, that we're heading down to take out this low down here, which is the low of that 4-hour candle. And then lower, of course, after that. So we're getting a 1, 2, 3 now. We can see the formation, and they're coming back into an inverted gap here. So another opportunity for selling to continue going down at that point. So there's an inverted gap here. So they just almost touched that, and we'd like to see them continue going down. So our algo today didn't really take it in effect until about 12 minutes after or so. And then we got this nice drop. And we're still in it, of course, but we're looking for further drops here. So hopefully I'm not too tight with my stop here, and they'll continue going down.
So I've recently started using a VWAP, and it's basically just bouncing off the VWAP.
Yeah, they're coming back to take me out here, and they did. Wow. Okay, so that did not work. So I had a little bit of profit there. I thought about taking something off, but I thought, no, well, they should bounce back into this gap and continue down. But they're saying, nope, they want to go back up and take that high again, possibly here. So I didn't want to put my stop above that high just because of that, because it's possible that they can take me out at that high. So let's see if I would have been safe above the high. Sometimes the placement of the stop is so critical because I put it just above this high here, and they've just touched me. So would I have been safe above the high? I don't think so in this case, but we'll see. So
And I was in that trade, and when you were saying that you were just expecting it to kind of go down to the lows, that's when I just moved my take profit to the VWAP.
mm-hmm.
And it just got me out.
So you were going long here?
Short.
Oh, okay. All right, so they're pushing up higher here. There's another gap up here, interestingly. So was not expecting them to do that, but they are doing that. So
They are doing that.
So what we have here, again, we're in a fourth wave, and it's kind of like this. So we have our A and our B and our C and our D. So that's what they're doing, essentially. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move. You can see now we're breaking this high. So I thought we would do it this way and come down and then go back up one more time, maybe to take that high and then come down. But they're saying nope, they're going to do it the opposite way. So if we just never know which way they're going to do it. So very sneaky. So we come back into this gap. So I'll try again because I'm still expecting them to drop it down. So the only way I'm going to be wrong is if they come back up and take out this high, which I do not expect them to do.
I'm seeing a lot of upward momentum on the indicators.
That's the ploy. Make everybody go long here, right? Because if they want to drop it down, that's what they do. They're going to make everybody go long. So I'm not seeing this going to take out this high again. I'm going to jump in on a fractal here. At that point right there. So I got a fractal again right in the middle of my gap. So that's a good entry to come back down again. So let's see if I'm correct this time.
So can I ask you a question, Lennox?
Yes, sir.
Because what I would be looking at right now, not so much solely based on my indicators, but just for the sweep right there, I would be looking at that as kind of trying to form one wave, the formation of a wave one, and then just a quick, I'll be looking at that to form a 1, 2, 3 to the upside. So what is it that you're looking at? Or is it just a gap that's saying, all right, this isn't going to be a 1, 2, 3 to the upside?
Right.
Okay, so what I'm looking at is my structure. That's all I've got is my structure. So I'm going to put my stop a little high here, just a little above the gap because they could spike up. Okay, so my structure is, again, what's controlling this move? There's a 1, 2, 3 here. So remember, our structure is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a nice move. So I'm going to take.
There we go.
I can take a quick profit. Sorry, Marquis.
No worries.
Boy, that was so quick. That
was so quick. If you got
okay, so I'll take a quick profit off anyways at that point, just to lock in some profit, make up for my losses. So the reason why is because I have a 1, 2, 3 here. Whenever you have a 1, 2, 3, that's what's controlling the move. So when you get the 1, 2, 3 and it breaks this point, then the expectations that we're coming down to the third wave here, to the end, say at this point. So once we get here, you have to believe now that they're gonna fake you to go up here, but they're gonna come back to take out this number 3 point. So if you believe that, if you hold fast to the structure, then this is what they're gonna do. But if you get suckered in and you think, no, they're going to go this way, then you're going to lose it. So it's the structure that keeps me looking for this to come back down to take out these lows here. Yeah, does that make sense?
It doesn't. And you said that before,
this 1,000 times, but this is it. If you can't believe that, then you're not going to make, it's not going to happen for you, right? Because all they're doing is making a fourth wave here. And so they're going to sucker everybody to go long in here. So they leave all the buyers, to put their stops down here. And then they take them out. See, they're taking these guys out already. Right?
Okay, but the top at this current situation should be wave E, the way I'm looking at it.
That's right.
Should be going down now.
We came down, we got our A, we got our B, we got our C, we got our D, we got our E. And so
that's E way up
that's
the top.
our E here, right?
Yeah.
This is our D. This is our.
So we should be going down now, but they're really playing games with us.
Well, we get this move and they're taking out this guy. So this is just a retrace. And so we should continue going down, right?
Well, the retrace was okay.
It was very quick. That's all. It's a super quick move. And, that was fast. I didn't have a chance to take any profit off. So if I had a target of just this low, I would have been, it would have been great. But I thought I put a target on this. I didn't. Well, it was the first. I thought I had a target of this low here, but I guess I did not even have a target on. Okay, so my target would be this low here at this point, right? Because that's the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, right.
So, but you could also have a target for these other lows as well if you wanted to, right? That's, totally reasonable to put targets down here. So it's a quick move that they just did here to take these guys who bought out. So the next guys left are these two. Right? This is where the liquidity is now. There's no liquidity up here because they've already swept these guys. And
they are playing absolute games with us.
So there's our 1-2 and another 1-2. So I would still expect them to come down, take out these guys now. I wouldn't expect them to come back up here, but anything's possible, right? Because it's very volatile. So I'm going to bring my stop.
You're silent, Lennox.
Almost looked like the screen is frozen. So he said he was going to move his stop, but it also hasn't moved.
Yeah, nothing's moving on his. That's right. Okay, when I'm looking at a 5-minute movement, and it's possible that I'm just forming the first real down candle, which has not closed yet and won't close for another 4 minutes. So this movement that we're getting has been very erratic, and I understand, Marquis, why you were thinking that this should be going up, and I was close to making that observation myself, except that on the downward movement to the first low point coming down at the algol time, if that becomes wave 5, then we have an A, B, C, D, E, which means that the current high that we have 4 candles back now, wait a minute, I'm on 2-minute candles. Let me go down to 1 minute so I can tell you exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles back is what I call wave E. And I thought we were just going to move down at this point, but the current move on the 1-minute candle is telling me that no, this is not true. And
It may just be considered or trying to go sideways.
yeah, yeah. Normally, when you get to a wave E, it should continue on down, which is that big spike where Lennox was saying he wanted to take some off. I was at the same point. I wanted to take some off, but, I wasn't even getting close to that. So what I'm trying to do at this point is move my target down to some point where I'm hoping that I'll get something taken off at this point, because I'm just not liking the way this is playing out.
It should drop down eventually, but I don't think it's gonna do it too quickly at all. But
Yeah.
George, while I have you, what is your interpretation of your perspectives of the VWAP? Because I looked at a YouTube video yesterday.
It came up to VWAP. It just almost touched VWAP right now. In fact, it just did right now.
No, not for this trade in general, George. I'm saying in general.
VWAP starts at 9:30.
Your VWAP?
My VWAP starts at 9:30, when the market opens, and it just came up to it now, but it has not gone through it. But the problem here is that this movement is in what we term wave 4 movement, and I technically would like to be out of any trade because I don't like wave 4 movements. They are too unpredictable for me.
I don't really like to be in trades. If I'm taking a trade at 10, I like to be out of it by 11. I noticed that the 11 o'clock is, I presume, when everybody goes to lunch. So volume just falls off the cliff.
Yeah,
so if it's going in a certain direction, it usually turns around.
Well, the problem is that what I found, sometimes 11 o'clock has a very good trade, and many times it can be an algo type trade. But
yeah, but it's always in the opposite direction of the algo, was what I noticed. Or
yeah,
it's mostly in the opposite direction of the algo.
That, I'm speaking in in historical things that I've noticed, because I tend to trade from 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern time to noon time.
Though I find the 11 o'clock trade, if the market's trending, to be more consistent than the algo trade.
Oh, an algo trade is my favorite trade, but if this was an algo trade that we had around 10 o'clock, it was too darn short for me.
I've been looking at the charts, so just a little back testing, and the algo trade may, if there is an algo trade present, it may be just a quick 100 pips or so, but then the 11 o'clock trade would be like 200 pips, and it's just sometimes it just keep dropping the whole day.
Okay, well, we've just gotten above VWAP right now.
So George, do you not try to prime your VWAP for 24 hours?
No, my VWAP starts at 9:30 and goes to 4 o'clock.
Because you have extended hours on yours, correct?
Pardon?
You have extended hours on your charts.
Oh yeah, because I'm on futures.
Yeah, because
but your main
goes,
trading day is really 9:30 to 4 o'clock, and that's kind of why I start the VWAP at that point.
Okay. But I was looking at a YouTube video that was saying that the VWAP is basically just a representation of price, of what price should be. Do you think that's accurate?
Yeah, it's a volume, supposedly a volume weighted moving average. See if I can find a good definition for you.
I think so. Now we might start heading downwards to the to complete that fourth wave movement, and just kind of take out those lows once 11 o'clock gets here.
Yeah, that would be good. We're coming up to 11 o'clock. We have 2 minutes to go. Yeah, VWAP is an indicator that takes into account price times the volume, and it's accumulating the volume. Now, in the one that I'm using, I just start that accumulation at 9:30. Most VWAPs go for the 24-hour period.
So, is there any particular reason why you use you would prefer a VWAP that starts at 9:30 than a 24-hour VWAP?
The whole reason behind that is that you're accumulating the activity at the
New York Open?
longest part of the trading day. So you've eliminated all of the stuff coming in from London, etc. And if you look at the volume chart, on the futures for the London type trading, etc., it tends to be pretty light.
Pre-market open?
Yeah. I mean, I usually start looking at the market around 6 o'clock Eastern time in the morning. And well, I actually had a nice trade on then at that point. I had 86 handles, but they disappeared on one of these trades I've been making now. Hoping I can get back to something good, but I'm looking for, well, we just hit 11 o'clock now. And we've gotten below VWAP, but it's going back up to try to touch it again. But it'd be nice to see an algo trade starting at 11 o'clock. And I just don't like this playing around where it's just treading water, and we're getting an extended wave E formation at this point.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of sideways movement right now.
And I technically I should have gotten out when the 10 o'clock movement went down, and I was literally being too piggy and waiting for more pips to occur and to abandon the whole thing and not have to worry about this trading that's going on right now.
Yeah, I was gonna take a lower take profit, but just the time of because we're coming up on lunchtime, so.
And I had over a lot over 100 handles, but right now with this kind of movement, I don't know whether I'll end up positive or not.
So my trend indicators.
Know your market's going on at this point. You know, I guess I should really check to see if there's some crazy news out.
For my long-term trend indicators, I'm bullish, but my short-term trend indicators are kind of just going sideways, up and down.
Yeah, that's true.
Though most of them are just giving upward momentum. I will say that.
Yeah. Let me see. I want to.
So how do you? So George, do you trade to the VWAP or away from the VWAP?
Right now, I don't trade based upon VWAP. It just tells me what kind of activity is going on. And if I look at, you know, from roughly 10:35 to now, it's just been going up and down from VWAP. It's just steady state.
You might. I think the 24-hour VWAP may be a bit more effective, as it's less, because starting at 9:30, I would imagine that it really moves, whereas the 24-hour VWAP is a lot slower, so it gives you some opportunity to gauge.
Well, that's the reason why I like it during my trading hours, is that it's more reliable. The 24-hour one, you know, it's accumulating volume from roughly 9 hours of trading, 9.5 hours of trading that I'm not interested in.
But you also want to take into consideration, George, that institutional investors, they begin to plan their day well before market open. So
yeah, well, that's when I start, like around 6 o'clock, etc. In fact, I quite often get a beautiful trade in at that time, and it doesn't suffer the kind of nonsense that we're looking at right now. Let me see, what the heck do I want to do? Yeah, see, when I look at my Heiken Ashi chart, it's right now it's saying that we should be going up. But that changes in the next candle. This is just what I call a mucky mess.
yeah, this has to be a fourth wave, because
Oh, well, yeah, we've been in a fourth wave for a long time, since wave A was at 10:22 this morning.
yeah, we look at just from 08, about 0830. It looks like there could be, we construe that as a 1-2, and then wave 3, and then this whole thing is just a fourth wave. So it should come back up to about just to take out those highs.
Well, actually, no, I was in an 8:30 trade and had a nice upward movement up until almost 10, well, before 10 o'clock, 9:45.
950-ish.
Trade upward, and that was a beautiful trade.
Yeah.
So I don't look at that as wave 4 at all. Lennox is trying to get back on.
Yeah, I'm back with you guys. Sorry, yeah, this machine's giving me nothing but grief this morning.
No worries.
I'm not sure what it is. It looks like it's Skype. Because
did you download something recently?
No. So I think it's Skype crashing on me, but I'm not sure exactly, so I'll have to reboot and so forth. So we have to look at a different, we have to switch over from Skype to Teams or something. So we need to get that going. All right, so I don't know where I left off, where I lost you guys, but I was talking to myself again. So.
Okay, well, you have been talking to yourself for quite some time now, because I've been talking to the group at this point.
Yeah, no
when
problem.
we hit that wave E, and then we had that huge candle down where you attempted to get out, you were on a couple of candles after that, and I started talking then, and we came down and we made a new support area. Then it went back up above VWAP to a resistance area, came down, and it's just doing an extended wave 4 from the point where you and I were calling the wave A. So it's, you know, after the E wave and it went down, it started up with a new A, B, C, D, E, and I don't know where the heck it's supposed to go now. It should be going
I'm expecting
down.
it to fall. I'm still expecting it to fall here. So.
Well, I am too, but you know, we've been expecting that since 1022 or something.
And yeah, we've been caught in a fourth wave, and this is typical of a fourth wave, as we all know that they can play games in here, and so that's what they're doing. But slowly making some profits on this. You know, I jumped in and bought some more, sold some more, and able to take some profits off here. So looking for them to drop through this low, and that would be a good thing if we can break this level here, which looks imminent.
Yeah, well, the problem is that all of the falls, except for that one after the E wave, have been rather tepid. I've on my 5-minute chart, of Heiken Ashley, I've just had a bunch of whoops, you're going.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what news was coming out tomorrow. Maybe there's something.
I was trying to look for news, but
so we have retail sales coming out tomorrow. That might be quite a boon for the market at 8:30 before they open. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. That's the big red news coming up tomorrow on the U.S. Oh, there's others as well. Fed Chair Powell speaking at 1:30. So there's a lot of stuff
okay, well,
going
from
on.
43 minutes ago, Canadian inflation has been staying close to home. That's all I see. And EU expects U.S. tariffs to remain as negotiations make little progress.
All right, so we're after the 11 o'clock hour, so I'm going to bid everybody adieu and call it a day. It's been
Okay.
It's been a tough one with my machine today, so if I can rectify that for tomorrow. But we said we'd just go to 11 o'clock, and we're 10 minutes after, so we'll call it today.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, sir.
Very good.
So yeah, I still expect us to continue falling here. That would be the expectation, but it's not an easy one today. That's for sure.
It might take until 1 o'clock to do that.
Yeah, Tesla didn't even do what I thought it would do here. Tesla is still trying to come down rather than take that high. So a little bit of a battle there with Tesla as well. Interesting. All right.
Okay, well,
Be
take
careful out there, guys. It's tough going in the market.
Showing up.
All
It's
right.
been a difficult trading day. I fortunately got some stuff in the morning. That was good, but some of those profits got wiped away in this wave 4 nonsense. Unless I get it back, I'm back into profit. Okay, take care.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks
Thank you,
very much for
gentlemen.
dropping in. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you guys tomorrow.
Take care.